Feet right there, Mark. Okay.
Begin with a scene survey. Take charge. Warn the casualty not to move. Assess hazards and make the area safe. Determine the number of casualties, what happened, and the mechanism of injury. Offer to help.
Mark, you okay?
Oh, I think I hit my leg bad.
I got some first aid. Can I help you?
Okay.
Will you get the first aid kit out of the truck?
Begin with a primary survey by assessing airway and breathing.
Take a nice deep breath for me, Mark. Any pains or problems with that?
No.
Assess circulation by checking the skin for signs of shock.
Okay, nice and warm.
Because other injuries are not suspected, a rapid body survey is not necessary. If you suspect a fracture, instruct a bystander to steady and support the injured leg.
You come around here and just grab a hold of this foot, please.
If assistance is not immediately available, the casualty can help to steady and support the injured limb. Expose the injury. Look for an open wound, bone protrusion, and an abnormal shape to the limb. If a fracture is suspected, medical help is required. If medical help cannot be reached, continue giving first aid.
Okay.
Cover the wound with a sterile dressing.
Oh, we're going to be transporting him. Do you want to get some materials for a splint, please?
Got some blankets in the car.
Okay.
Perform a secondary survey. When a lower leg fracture is the casualty's only complaint, and when other injuries are not suspected, examine only the injured limb from top to bottom.
All right, let's just take another look at this leg and make sure we haven't got any other problems. How are you here, Mark?
Okay.
Okay in there?
Sore there, yeah.
Yep, sore there. The knee seems to be okay now?
Yeah.
Okay, and down through here we get a lot of soreness.
Yeah.
And how about down into here? No problem there?
Check circulation below the injury and compare it to the other leg. Protect bone ends with protective padding. Secure the dressing to the leg.
I'd like you to just hang in here, bud. We're going to get you all taken care of here.
Make sure the dressing does not apply pressure to the bone ends. The natural body hollows at the knee and ankle are used to position a broad bandage at the thigh, the knee, above and below the fracture site, and at the ankle.
I've got the blankets and the planks.
Okay, you want to wrap the blankets around the planks so we get a good padded splint, please?
Pad 2 splints that are long enough to immobilize the joints above and below the fracture. The splints should extend from the top of the thigh to beyond the foot.
Hanging in okay, Mark?
Yeah.
Good.
Place padded splints on either side of the limb.
On the inside. Okay, yeah. Let go of the foot and grab the splint. Good. Okay.
Secure the splints to the leg by tying the bandages at the thigh, at the knee, above and below the fracture site, and at the ankle.
You let me know when that's tight enough, Mark.
Yeah, okay.
Tie knots on the outside of the splint. Use a figure of 8 to tie the bandage at the ankle. Check circulation again, and if necessary, loosen any bandages that impair circulation.
Okay, looks good.
Do not apply ice to an open fracture. Although a fracture of the lower leg is not life-threatening, the casualty must receive medical attention as soon as possible. To splint a lower limb when rigid splints are not available, use the uninjured leg as a splint. Place a blanket wedge between the casualty's legs. Tie knots over the padding. In summary, begin with a scene survey. Once complete, perform a primary survey. Assess airway, breathing, and circulation. If necessary, perform a rapid body survey. If you suspect a fracture, instruct a bystander to steady and support the injured leg. Expose the injury. Cover the wound with a sterile dressing. If you must transport the casualty, perform a modified secondary survey. Examine only the injured limb from top to bottom. Check circulation below the injury. Protect bone ends with protective padding. Position a broad bandage at the thigh, at the knee, above and below the fracture site, and at the ankle. Place padded splints on either side of the limb. Working from top to bottom, secure the splints to the leg by tying the bandages off against the splint. At the ankle, use a figure of 8 tie. Check circulation again, and if necessary, loosen any bandages that impair circulation. Do not apply ice to an open fracture. Although a fracture of the lower leg is not life-threatening, the casualty must receive medical attention as soon as possible. To splint a lower limb when rigid splints are not available, use the uninjured leg as a splint. Place a blanket wedge between the casualty's legs. Tie knots over the padding.